Hi everyone, so today I'm here to show you how I do the makeup and hair for Padme Amidala's lake outfit from episode 2, Attack of the Clones. I always start off with a freshly washed and moisturized face, and right now I am adding some Wet n Wild Rose primer all over my face. This really helps your makeup stay all day, so I highly recommend putting a primer to start. Now I'm also adding Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer and applying it with a fingertip to both my eyelids. This stuff is cheap and works great and holds your eyeshadow consistently. Now I'm also using Wet n Wild. Can you tell I like this brand? The eyeshadow is called Brulee, and I'm applying it as a base color all over my lids so the rest of the color that I put on has a nice foundation. Once I'm satisfied with the base color, I take MAC eyeshadow in Bark, which is the actual eyeshadow that was used on Natalie in the film, and apply it into my crease. I'm not being super precise with this blending and just setting a simple color right now, and you'll see why in a second when we add in the second eyeshadow. This particular eyeshadow does have a little bit of fallout, which is why I'm applying my eyeshadow first before foundation and just cleaning it up with a makeup wipe. Next, I'm going to take Quarry, which is also by MAC, which is in this Cinderella palette, thankfully, and I'm applying that all over my lid. This is another eyeshadow that's pretty tricky to find just because it's so old, so if you can track it down, I highly recommend it. It's a beautiful color, and as you can see, it blends in really well with Bark. And this is also why I wasn't too worried about the crease color, because as you can see, I'm going to blend it in a second and make it all kind of align and move into one single color. Again, Quarry, just like Bark, has fallout, so I'm cleaning that up quickly before moving on to foundation. And speaking of, now I'm moving on to foundation. I use CoverGirl Matte Ambition. I really like this. It's a cheap foundation that goes into skin really well. As you can see, I'm applying it with a damp beauty blender, and I recommend this over applying foundation with a brush just because it goes into the skin a little bit smoother and it's easy to apply color as needed with it, whereas a brush is a bit more difficult. So I'm just kind of cleaning it up and adding it in. It does look a bit lighter than my skin, but I promise after it oxidizes, it does match fairly well. And now onto blush. This is Stila Cream Blush in Camellia, which is also what was used on Natalie, and I'm just applying it very lightly with my fingertips. And I am putting this on after I put on concealer. I have concealer on, but I didn't film it for some reason. Now I am setting all my makeup with Rimmel Stay Matte Face Powder and just applying a light layer all over everything that I just did to set it because I want my makeup to last all day. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to take a Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush as well as this MAC eyeshadow in Mystery and fill in my brows. I'm basically just coloring them in a little bit to give more definition to the shape. And then once I'm satisfied with that, I'm going to take NYX Brow Mascara and I'm going to apply it all over what I just did so that the look stays all day. This is also a cheap product that I highly recommend and comes in several different colors. To add a little bit more definition to my face, I'm going to take this Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and a blush brush and just kind of highlight around my temples, under my chin, and down to my neck, and kind of make it look like I've seen the sun and have a little bit more color to my face. Quarantine has not been kind with vitamin D, I have to say. Once I'm happy with the bronzer, I'm going to set it once again with some Stay Matte powder, and then to give myself a little bit of color, I'm going to use this Benefit blush in Throb and apply it just to the apple of my cheeks. Now that the face is mostly done, I'm going back to the eyes and I'm going to tight line just the bottom lash with this Wet n Wild brown eyeliner. I'm not being too clean on the lines because in a second what I'm going to do is take a smudge brush and smudge the color into my lower lash line. Natalie actually is wearing eyeliner, but it's very minimal, so I don't want to be too precise. Then I'm going to take an eyelash curler and curl my lashes and apply mascara. I really like this Voluminous Lash Paradise because it gives my lashes the added depth that I really want for this look. Now lipstick. This is the actual color that Natalie wore, which is actually called Natalie, but unfortunately it's no longer available. So I found a duplicate, or a semi-close duplicate. This lipstick is CoverGirl Katy Perry Couture, which you can buy at Walgreens or CoverGirl. Now that my makeup's done, I'm setting it with some setting spray and on to the hair.
So the first thing I'm going to do is pull half my hair up and brush it back and away from my face, and then clip it so it's out of the way. I'm using a pretty good amount of my hair, but it's totally up to you how much you want to use, because this is going to hide what we're doing here. Now I'm going to take a good portion of my hair, pull it back, and put it into a half-up ponytail. I don't have enough hair to give volume like I need, so I'm using this sassy Kanekalon braid, and I'm going to be combining it with my own hair to give me that added bump that I need. So I'm taking a bobby pin and sticking it right through the rubber band, and then in a second I'm going to actually put it into my hair, as you can see here, and this is going to fill out and give me that volume that I'm looking for. Now that my hair is all together with the fake hair, I'm going to braid it into one giant braid all the way down and close it with a rubber band. Now that the top portion is done, I'm going to take the rest of my hair and I'm going to braid it into a single braid all the way down to the end. Now I'm going to take the two braids and basically twirl them around each other into one long piece. And once I'm satisfied with that, I'm going to get another rubber band and close them together. And you can see I'm already starting to get that bump for the volume that I wanted by combining those two pieces. Once it's all closed with a rubber band and held in place, I'm going to now wrap it around my head, kind of like a French twist, to give that nice bump that I was talking about earlier. Once I'm satisfied with the placement of all this hair, I'm going to now start pinning it in place. These bigger bobby pins that I'm about to show you are magic bands, and I absolutely love them. Highly recommend them if you're doing any kind of Star Wars hairstyle. And here I'm just adding a few more bobby pins and clips to make sure that the hair stays in place throughout the day. If I'm doing a very long event, I don't want to have to fiddle with it, so I add more or less as needed. So here you get an idea of what it looks like, and there's all that volume I was talking about. Now I'm going to take that front section of hair and brush it so that a good portion of it falls over that bump, and I'm also going to pull out some front sections that are going to be twisted and pulled behind in a second. You'll want to take that and clip these out of the way so they don't get braided into the other section in the back. once I'm satisfied with the placement, I'm going to take a small rubber band and tie that into a small ponytail. I was only able to grab a white one for the purpose of this video, but obviously if this is for a white event, I'd be using a black one. I'm going to pin this hair so it's out of the way, and then move to the front sections. Now the front sections you're going to want to twist and pin slowly all the way to the back. Now, if you really want to be accurate, you would do this after you have put the purple bands into your hair, but because I'm just kind of showing how I do it, I'm just showing quickly so you can modify as needed for you. Bigger bump that I was going for with the Kanekalon. And once everything is pinned in, you can see the general shape that I was going for with the Kanekalon, giving it some added volume. These are purple headbands that I made out of satin and seed beads and pipe cleaners. The first two headbands are made with headbands that I purchased at Michael's that I just slid in through the satin. And you need a minimum of 5 for Rebel Legion, but again, if this is just for fun, make them as you need. I'm going to go ahead and use bobby pins and pin them in place. Again, this is just for a quick show. If I was really doing this for an event, I would make every effort to hide the bobby pins, but at least you get an idea. A visible clip or a visible rubber band, and use the purple bands to hide that so it looks like one flawless piece. As I had mentioned earlier, the first 2 headbands are actual headbands, but the remaining 3 are made with pipe cleaners, which makes them very pliable and easy to bend around my head. As I go down the bun, they get significantly smaller, so it's easier to attach them. I'm going to take this next piece, which as you can see is very pliable, and put it right over that bump with the visible rubber bands so that no one can see it, and it hides it and still keeps that nice shell shape that I've been going for. You can see here how waiting to do the twisted front hair pieces might be ideal, because what you would do is twist it over where the bobby pins are showing so that you don't see the bobby pins at all. That's what I meant when I said if this was for a real event, I would have done that, but it's completely up to you and your comfort level and what you're going for when you make these. Probably would have lined these up a little bit neater if I had been paying super close attention, so I do apologize that the one piece isn't fully around my head, but